How's it going, everybody? We are back with some more Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights after, I don't know, at least 1,000 years. I am once again joined by Sick Cody, who hasn't made an appearance in a few episodes, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, I've been dying for a while now, and I'm just now feeling better enough to do this.
Indeed, it's a result of the professor. He locked him in this dungeon, and Cody inhaled all this lava that's down here for some reason, and he barely made it out alive.
All that ghost stank got me.
Yeah, all that
They
ghost
didn't
stank.
wash their bed sheets.
Indeed. Why do you think it is that the professor's bed sheets are floating?
You want a real answer or something else?
Let's get both.
All right, the real answer: drones. It's all drones.
All right. See, there's drones under there.
As for the other answer, he probably found some fairies and hired them to carry them around.
Perhaps. So, what do you think the purpose of this dungeon is? Why does the professor have this? Like all these flames and whatnot.
Well, judging by the themes around it, he's going for that medieval theme, so I'm assuming some treasure, dude.
Alright, you think there's something good behind these doors?
He probably stores all his, well, no, in the shipwreck had all his gold.
Yeah.
I don't know what he would store here. His second gold, maybe?
Well,
I don't know.
We can see the skeletons on the walls. Maybe there's the more important corpses, like the IRS corpses, for example.
Maybe. Or maybe this is where he keeps all his precious nerd collection. And this is all the other nerds that he's imprisoned for trying to buy from him.
Indeed. All of the first edition Spider-Man comic books are down here.
First edition of Superman comic. That thing is really expensive.
That's probably down here then. I mean, look at how big this whole mansion is. He's got money, clearly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
What I think he does is he finds a buyer for the comic, he sells it, then he kidnaps the buyer and kills them, and then that's why there's the corpses all over.
Mm-hmm.
The professor...
Seems legit.
Indeed. The professor is behind all of this. I mean, the same guy who makes the microwave-safe ice cube tray. Think about it.
His inventions are all silly enough.
You know, who does he expect to buy that?
The common person.
The common person?
Yeah, they'll advertise it so good on TV that they would just buy for no reason after that. Try it once and then never try it again. It's just in their basement somewhere.
So in those as seen on TV commercials?
Pretty much. You see a lot of suckers fall for that, like back in the days.
Yeah.
I know my uncle used to fall for that a lot. He has a bunch of junk now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. So here we are abusing Shaggy by pushing him over because he can't get the barrel off for some reason.
When he's on his side, he could probably just crawl in.
I don't think he thinks about that. I think maybe he wants to be stuck in there. Like he just tipped himself over.
He's using it as armor.
Perhaps with the professor, maybe?
So you didn't have to use him at all for any puzzles? He was just there?
Well, you have to get him to land on a switch, but so the way it works is you have to call him with circle and X. But for some reason, he doesn't go where you're standing. He goes, like, way past where you are.
Bruh. It's like a delay.
Yeah. A delay, and then...
classic games having a delay.
Yes.
Well, mainly 3D games had that. The 2D ones didn't.
No. 2D games were perfect.
Yep.
I don't think there was any 2D... Oh, Game Boy Color. Well, actually, I don't know. What is like the definition of a side scroller? Is that like
That's just straight up a side scroller.
Like are the Oracle games side scrollers?
Those are top down.
Like top down?
Overhead. Yeah.
Interesting. Perhaps that's what Shaggy was going for under the barrel. He wanted a top-down view.
That's a very small view because he could only see his feet.
Right, that's why the call button didn't work.
He didn't, like, expand his FOV yet.
Nope, this is before the FOV expansion times. You could only do, like, 20 field of view, and that's it.
You're locked to it.
Yep.
What's GoldenEye's FOV is probably, like, really small, huh?
Yeah, all the Bond games that were first person are pretty small.
Because I remember a lot of classic FPS games being, like, so tightly packed.
Yeah. It was like, when was the first time you could do it? Could you do it on any PS3 games? Or Xbox 360?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I kind of played with default settings on most FPS games.
Okay.
Back then, and then it's only like the recent like 5-6 years I've been like fiddling with those.
I like the expanded FOV. It's nice being able to see everything.
Makes it easier, especially if you're playing something competitive.
Mm-hmm. You know, I get really concerned by the amount of bodies that are on the walls in here.
It's all decoration. He went to like what is that called? Spirit. He went to Spirit.
Was that a Canada place?
Yeah.
Spirit. And he bought all these.
It's a Halloween store.
Okay.
That it's a seasonal store that only opens like around the Halloween time.
Okay.
They usually buy out like empty buildings, and then it's closed for the whole year, and then as soon as like September, October arrives, they open up again.
So the professor went there. He's like, "Oh, excuse me, I'd like to buy all your storage. Thank you."
Let me get all those skeletons. Tell me your dealers.
Yeah. Give me all your skeletons, and I'll trade you this microwave-safe ice cube tray.
or that banana thing, banana shoes.
The lashes, yeah. How do you flavor boots? You just like rub the bananas all over them? Can't wait for some dog to wear these.
Yeah, that was his first thought when he made those. This is going to be for dogs. These are dog booties.
Yep, that's why there's 4 of them. It's also interesting that he only has 1 of each invention.
I mean, you don't know that. He probably has like a surplus somewhere.
Perhaps in his secret lab. We don't even
What if
know
all his inventions are just for himself?
So he just does it as like a hobby?
Yeah. Because I know we first started this being like he probably like sells this to people, but maybe they're just for himself.
So then, what's our in-universe reason that the IRS is after him?
He owns like a big property for some reason.
Alright.
With no explanation.
And he wasn't counting
so
on
they're
it.
like, yeah, and they were like, where'd you get all this money for this?
Except he wasn't counting on a dog to come and avoid all the booby traps.
Yeah. This lucky dog.
Oh crap, there's a dog here. What am I gonna do? So, what's the reason that he has Scooby snacks all over?
Maybe he's a fan, like Shaggy and Scooby are.
Alright.
Just buys like a bunch of dog treats and just chows down.
Okay. That could be. So he claims that he invented the gum. I think he's... Maybe that's copyright. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's theft.
Theft? So
yeah, he's claiming to make it, or maybe he did, but then he would have to be have to be like way older than he actually is.
That's true. I invented the plunger.
The plunger.
After my first toilet clogged up, I didn't know what to do, so I used my anti-stick galoshes.
What if his idea of inventing is like not the same as our version, our idea of inventing is?
Is his version of inventing just stealing?
Or his version of inventing is he sees it in a guide and he makes it. He's like, "Oh, I invented this." Where our version is basically, "Oh, we just followed a guide and created this. We didn't invent it though."
Oh, look, there's a pizza. Let me go make one in the oven and invent it. So, this is his cellar, which I normally associate with wine, but all I see is cobwebs and boxes.
I associate cellars, which is with the same thing as basements, to be honest. They just have different names.
Indeed, both hold corpses. And aliens.
Aliens. Yes. Where everyone was distracted by the Area 51 things, they should have been looking in their basements.
You know, during that raid thing, that's probably when the professor got busy. Started making all this stuff.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose that would have been years later. He's probably dead by this point. Because this was 2002. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he might have invented some life extender. I made the life extender, which extends my life by 100 years.
He put his brain in a jar.
Yes, that's exactly what he did. Perhaps he's invented some wines as well.
Just a common red wine.
Yeah, look, there's wine bottles.
Yeah, he totally invented those.
Maybe he
They
gets
probably taste like garbage though.
Probably. He probably uses the corpses to add flavor. That's why he keeps them around, so the aroma of the skeleton just kind of is all over the place.
Ew, that'd be gross. Bone flavored wine.
Yeah. Bone flavour. This tastes really good.
This is how I get my calcium.
The doctor told me that I need to get stronger bones, so I use these corpses to help.
He takes everything literally.
Yep.
You need some iron. All right. Goes mine iron and starts eating it.
Yeah. Oh, and someone tells him break a leg, and he's like, okay. Ow. This professor.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So Cody is currently going to get some chicken noodle soup. So I suppose at this time I should tell everyone the theory that I have about the professor. So the reason that the IRS is actually after him, in my theory, is not because of the mansion, but it's because he hasn't paid for any of his taxes in over 20 years. Hence why they're all after him. But since nobody can prove that he hasn't paid them for some reason, that's just the way it is. I mean, maybe the professor has some sort of top secret lawyer or accountant that deals with all this stuff, and maybe they create some fraud. I don't know. But hey, that's just a theory. A Connor theory. Thank you for watching.
Interesting theory.
Indeed. Did you get your soup?
It's very hot. It's kind of sitting on my desk right now, though.
Alright, Cody has soup because he is sick, Cody.
The classic remedy.
Indeed. Sick Cody has not appeared since episode 7.
Which I forgot all about.
Indeed. Because I forget when we started this, probably 2022. And
The longest LP ever.
right. This is kind of a lame cellar. He's just got those bottles against the wall, and that's only shelving.
Right?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna judge too hard because I don't have any shelving in my basement.
Really?
No, I have desks, tables, stuff like that.
And that's all your storage? Like for holding stuff?
Well, that and like containers, like those big containers.
Okay. The tote things or whatever?
No, they're like big plastic containers.
Oh. Well, that's better than having this much free space.
Yeah. Well, that's not really free space. Look at all those shelves.
Yeah, that's true. So, when do you think he breaks this stuff out for if he's having a party?
No, just whenever you invent something.
Well, I just invented a key. I need to celebrate. Although,
I would, to be honest. Forging a key sounds like it'd be fun. You gotta melt down some metal and shape it.
so he's a locksmith and he's a professor?
A blacksmith and a professor?
No, locksmith.
Well, it'd be a blacksmith too, because he'd have to forge it.
Oh yeah, that's true. So he's a blacksmith, a professor, and a locksmith.
Well, the most important part, he's also a thief.
That's true. Stealing everyone's inventions, calling them his own. Something's fishy about this. And I keep losing my voice. It's because Cody's getting me sick, perhaps.
Nowhere near close to you to get you sick.
I don't know, the professor might have invented some sort of a sickness sharing thing.
Oh yes, the vibes, Ray. My sick vibes have transferred over the internet.
The vibes, Ray, wow. Alright, so we're nearing the professor's lab. But for some reason...
It's like deep in the basement. Damn, that guy walks a lot.
Indeed. Shaggy's got the skills. So, as you can see, he set his freezer on way too cold. And that's why all this ice is here. Now, I am no genius, but I think that would cost a lot to keep something this cold.
Oh yeah.
But then that leads me to question why doesn't he keep the bodies in cold storage? Like,
He
wouldn't that
likes the
keep...
smell of rot.
Perhaps, but wouldn't the cold keep the smell away?
Also, make jerky.
Jerky with the bodies?
He's a cannibal now.
It wouldn't surprise me at this point.
So, are these like timed, or?
Yeah, you have to hit all 4 switches in like under a certain amount of seconds, otherwise you have to go back and redo it.
Okay.
There isn't too
At least
many.
they're not like the one where you have to put stuff on top.
Indeed. Classic Zelda puzzles. So, here we're gonna get the final invention of the game. What do you think it's going to be?
You're in a laundry room, so I'm gonna assume something to do with laundry.
He invented soap.
Soap.
Yeah.
Soap has been around. Like, are you talking about like normal soap, or are you talking about like soap bubble? Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure soap has been around for thousands of years by this point.
He invented soap bubbles, dude.
He just ignored history and it was like, I invented this.
Wow, I invented soap bubbles. Wow. So this is where he has to go down, like, how many sets of floors just to get down to his laundry room? Which leads me to think one thing. Probably that he never does laundry.
Maybe that's why he's still kicking. All that activities keeping him healthy.
Probably. They're like, I smell like garbage. Oh well, at least I have soap.
He just blows a bubble and just walks into it.
That's why he invented it, because he doesn't have time to wash his clothes.
And not very effective, but it works for him.
Yep. Like, let me invent some soap that I'll never have time to use, and washing machines that for some reason slide around.
It's like this house is on like a ship.
Maybe the basement is. It's connected to those shipwrecks, but they're lagging.
Yeah.
Basement ship. I don't know. At this point, I think we know better than to question the professor.
I think we said that a few times already.
Indeed, but we're just re-clarifying it, that the professor does not make too much sense, so it is best just to move on from those evil thoughts.
Evil thoughts.
Listen, he could be using some sort of dark magic for all we know.
Gloom and doom down in the tomb.
Indeed. Going back to collect some snacks before we head down to the scary laboratory.
Ah, yes, because you have to collect it.
Listen, this is a 100% playthrough. I have to do this. Think about how many years from now, little Timmy's looking up a guide and he comes across mine. He's gonna want to know where to find everything.
With very distracting hosts.
Yes, who are half the time talking about the game, half the time talking about something completely unrelated.
Exactly.
And then little Timmy will go to his parents and be like, "Mommy, what's the IRS? And why are they after this professor?" And then she'll be like, "What are you watching, sweetheart?" And then he'll be like, "Connor and Sick Cody."
Is that just my name now?
Yeah. And then little Timmy will be banned from YouTube. However, this is a mostly clean playthrough, I think, for the most part.
It's a werewolf!
Mostly.
Aside from the professor.
I don't think we have to worry about YouTube slapping us yet anyways.
No, we aren't in that
We're not.
crosshairs just yet.
We're not relevant enough for them.
Nope. They're like, oh, it's Northern Fusion Games. Yeah. The only time I'm relevant is when I do Animal Crossing videos.
You know, to bring attention to the LPs, could make like shorts of them.
Well, that's true, like some of our random little conversations.
Yeah, just like clip it out of the video and then upload it as a short.
Perhaps that would work, yeah.
I think you can. I think you can link full videos to shorts now or soon.
What do you mean? Like in the description?
Well, not in the description. There'll be like a little tab right beside on the short screen.
Oh,
and
so
it'll take you directly to the video.
is it going to be like how clips work? Like how if you send someone a clip, it's only that part of the video, but then you can click on it and then watch the rest of it too?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was something I noticed on Twitter, that dude who usually posts about YouTube updates.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know when they're implementing that, but it's a feature.
Huh. I don't get why the floor in here is moving like that.
I think it's supposed to be like mist.
Perhaps. Like from that movie.
But the graphics are not strong enough to render mist.
Yeah. I've been looking at this game on like GameCube. It looks way better. And on Xbox.
Maybe the PlayStation 1 is just Garbo.
Maybe, but wasn't the PS2 behind in graphics back then?
Not really. Maybe, I don't know. That was a weird point for graphics because they got like a big jump when the PS3 and Xbox 360 came out.
Yeah, that is really interesting how we went from like the 360p to what is it, PS3 720?
A warp day.
Yeah, I think it was 720.
Right?
Yeah, that is quite the jump. Wonder what happened during
Oh,
this.
oh wow, yeah. Yeah, the GameCube was way more powerful than the PS2.
And then Nintendo got behind. So I still don't understand how they got behind with the Wii. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, well,
it was
their whole thing is we're focusing on games more. Which, to be fair, most of their games are like pretty legit.
yeah, that's true.
Maybe sometimes not memorable, but they are very fun to play.
Yeah. Perhaps there was a change of leadership.
Well, their games just work, you know.
Yeah.
Ruby.
Alright, it is time for Little Lab of Horrors.
Little Lab of Horrors. You know, is this like the final area?
Yep.
We should insert like that dramatic Hyrule Castle theme.
Bracket copyright strike. The channel gets taken down. You used one part of a song.
I don't think.
Ruby snacks.
Yeah, I got cut off there. Had to answer somebody. I don't think they would care because we're so small right now.
That's true.
Besides, I
careful,
see people upload the entire Hyrule Castle theme all the time.
Perhaps. So, the professor, he got really, really nervous against the IRS here. And the floor is all electrocuted now.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever's behind these doors, it must really, really be of grave importance.
What a weird idea to do. Let me electrify the floor.
Yeah, wouldn't that be bad for his equipment?
Yeah, I'm surprised his computers are not shutting down or
Look how
frying.
fast everything's moving on the computers. He probably broke everything.
His memory is probably destroyed now. No more data.
And he's got chemical spills on the tables.
This guy is one sloppy professor.
But I gotta give him credit. All this stuff for one person.
Well, to be fair, most hobby people are kind of sloppy, but that's only because, you know, they've been working.
Yeah, and if he
The only time it's clean is if you're not doing anything.
True. But he found a way to somehow electrocute his whole floor. That's...
Are those radiation barrels?
I think so.
Damn. The IRS is not the only people who are going to be coming after him now.
No.
Pretty sure it's illegal to have those things around.
Yeah, and probably not good for Scooby to be breathing in.
No, he's probably fine. I already consider Scooby a mutant at this point.
Well, because all the stuff he can do.
And he can talk.
Yeah, that's true.
And he looks way different than other dogs.
Yeah. Alright, so, I don't know...
Actually, are there any other dogs in Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Dum and Scrappy.
Yeah, just those. You don't see like a normal dog at all, like any other dog.
Well, you see normal dogs, they just don't talk.
Do they also look like normal dogs compared to Scooby?
Yes.
See, I told you he's a mutant.
He is. I don't... Maybe the professor invented him. Scooby's going back home.
Or maybe it's like the Mario thing where everyone thought Mario was like some weird mutant compared to like an average human. But it turns out he's from a world that humans are just like that.
True. I don't know. Maybe Scooby was like injected with something as a puppy. Or his whole family must have been. Because they can all talk.
Maybe.
The professor's like, wow, my young apprentice is finally back after all these years.
Or Experiment 2.
Scooby. What is it in SCP? What do they call them?
Oh, they just give him like whatever numbers.
Patient X.
No, they just say SCP something numbers. Like just the
Scooby.
numbers.
Scooby's SCP-0.
The talking dog
Yep.
would be his file name.
You know, this must cost the professor a lot in electricity. Having a whole electrified floor.
Probably not paying anything.
Oh yeah, nobody's trying. What if nobody just knows this mansion exists? So the electric company doesn't even know that they're giving out their electricity to him.
No. He everything is like run on like an extension cable from his neighbors. They're just looking at their bill going like, what the hell?
Why do I have to pay $1 million a month for my tiny little house?
Robbie.
That'd be crazy though.
That would be.
Imagine just checking your mailbox one day and you're like, damn, or your email.
Right? Well, at least he has a fire extinguisher there. Or 2 of them.
Yeah, they're like locked behind, in between like an acid pit and electrified room.
Yep.
Oh, I have a fire, but they're in like very difficult locations to reach.
Well, speaking of acid,
I'm just gonna let it burn.
What is all this acid for?
No idea. Maybe he's this is probably where he melts the excess bodies he can't store.
Well, Scooby's about to drain it. Hopefully there's no corpses down there. Well, I suppose there won't be, because acid would just burn everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So Scooby's just walking on bodies.
Oh, nothing. There's nothing there.
Or their essence.
Also, these are not monsters, they're just guards.
Yeah. The Funland robots they're just guarding.
Right.
It's you.
They're called Fun Man robots.
The Funland robots, yeah. But if you want to get technical, his actual name is Charlie.
Oh, that's why they walk like that, okay.
Yeah. I think this was the first thing the first villain in Scooby-Doo that wasn't actually a person. That was robots.
Yeah.
The professor's going crazy with all this electricity, though. Like, what is he hiding?
No one can say for sure.
It's true. Perhaps you know, but you just don't want to tell us out of fear that he'll come after you.
No, I don't.
Oh, man. That switch did not want to cooperate with me. It was very tragic.
So it takes 2 hits for every monster, huh?
The Funland robots.
Right.
They're, beefed up.
Right.
They can take it. They have no organs to be. They have no pain receptors.
Yep. But,
Oh, speaking of pain, have you ever thrown up, but you didn't have nothing to throw up?
like dry heaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day I had to do a test. It was tragic.
A monster coming.
It's very painful because all your organs are getting squeezed.
Well, for me, it was just my neck or my throat was like, it was like a cramp in your throat.
Oh, for me, it was like a full body retch where I felt my guts like squeeze, try to force something out.
Ooh,
But there was nothing, and it hurt like heck, because it I felt like I was getting crushed.
Uh-huh. No doubt your body doesn't want something inside there.
Yeah, but there's nothing there.
That's true. I don't know what to tell you, man. Let's ask the professor. He's probably a doctor too.
Yeah, he's a an alleyway doctor.
Yeah. Spot me $5 there, Scoob. Yeah.
Someone has like needs really dangerous kidney surgery. Oh, you just give me $5 and I'll get you guys covered.
Well, let me just use this acid to replace your kidney with. It won't hurt. I promise.
Or maybe that's what he does. He just gives them like some weird anesthesia. Or some type of...
Why are they burning alive? Uh-oh.
They took my medical license for this.
How did I get it in the first place? Oh yeah, I stole that too. I don't know what the purpose of this room would be though.
Right?
I mean, he's got the radiation barrels and hovering platforms. I don't know what those things with antennas are.
Maybe this is where he tests out his ghosts before he sends them out.
Perhaps.
Ruby snacks.
So, now that we're getting closer to the end of the game, what is the reason, do you think, that the ghosts disappear after you kill them? Like they have that blue effect.
It's all a simulation.
Perhaps you're not far off.
Or those Scooby snacks have always been laced. So this is all in his head.
That probably could be.
Ruby.
But I don't think so, because Scooby was like this before the game started.
I mean, he's been eating Scooby snacks all his life, so...
That's true, but he would have probably developed an immunity at this point.
You know what? Maybe he imagines all these adventures they go on when in actuality, they're just chilling at home.
Maybe. He's got an overactive imagination, perhaps.
Oh, a monster token.
Alright, so I think there's only 3 rooms left. Do you think we will encounter the rest of the gang again?
Maybe.
So I guess you could say perhaps.
Ruby snacks.
Perchance.
Perchance.
This is Endgame, so they probably would just for that last hurrah.
Indeed.
Or they won't, and they'll be like, screw you.
Yeah.
We'll just give you at the credits.
Yeah, Scooby can do this himself. That is weird, though, that Shaggy never sticks with Scooby in this game.
He's just adventuring on his own.
Yep. So, Scooby is trying to get to the bottom of this for the IRS. Shaggy is... maybe he's, like... looking for food. And then... Freddy...
He stumbles in areas.
Yep, and then Fred is just trying to set a trap, but it keeps failing. Maybe some of these are Fred's traps, and they just keep failing.
It's a possibility. Like every single trap you ran into and got wrecked by, it's all been Fred's fault.
Yep.
Oh, a
Yeah, so that's the that's the second to last monster token I get in this playthrough.
Right?
What do you think the reason for those are? Why does the professor keep detailed information of all of his monsters? Like, extremely detailed.
Hey man, I'm sure you did a school project before and you had the note somewhere.
Perhaps.
It's a warp day, right?
Sometimes it's nice to check back.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough. And this is the final snack gate.
And then, does that complete the thing?
Ruby.
Well, that leads us to the final area. We're in the end game now. And that just takes you back down the scary acid room, which I got stuck in, so I had to backtrack.
Imagine you backtrack like all around the map.
That would suck, having to go all the way back up to the mansion.
Right?
You're in the Earth's core right now.
What do you think the professor... Do you think this lab is like where he makes the galoshes and stuff?
Probably.
But I don't see any bananas. So where did those come from?
I'm sure there's a container. Like those boxes probably have a container or something in there.
Perhaps. What's the giant fan for then, you think? Keep it cool?
Hey man, it gets hot at the center of the Earth.
Well, yeah, that's true. We're super far underground.
No, but in actuality, the deeper you go, it does get really like warm.
Doesn't it get cold though too?
Depends on how high are you to the surface. I'm pretty sure you get more and more hot the further deep you go.
Interesting.
Like that one mine that was, I think it was is it in the States or is it in Russia? That one mine. That's like super deep.
I don't know
a
what
few
you're
miles.
talking about.
Okay, so there's like a mine, right? That's like a few miles like deep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like really hot down there.
Then why are basements cold?
Well, it's not that deep. There's no pressure.
I don't know, man. I don't think the
There's
professor...
also this.
he
There's
doesn't
also this
care.
crystal cave in Mexico that's really hot
Have you been there?
due to pressure. No, I've seen it online though.
Oh.
It's pressure basically. It's the same deal with like the ocean, you know.
Indeed. Just like what happened to that submarine.
Damn.
But on to a more happy note. We're about to run into an old friend.
Shaggy again? Is it gonna
Yeah.
be Shaggy again?
Yeah. And, the professor got him this time. It was very tragic. Actually,
You missed that first hit.
maybe it isn't this part. It might be the next part. I forget what I did. I think we've mentioned this before, but all these are being post-commentated like 50 years afterwards.
Yeah, he actually recorded this like back when he was a toddler.
Yeah, I was at least 3 or 4. Alright, so the reason here for the backtracking is because I was missing like one Scooby snack and I couldn't figure out where it was. Because for some reason it only goes by like the entire area, like how there's part 1, part 2, and part 3 of Little Lab of Horrors. So it only tells you how many there is in the collective area, not in each individual part. So that makes it a little bit more challenging trying to find the Scooby snack. But fortunately, it was just right above this guy.
Rudy.
That was very hard to see.
Indeed.
Pretty sure you would have missed that if you didn't know beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. And I would just glanced at it because I was on the railing. And I was like, oh. I'm glad that free cameras are more of a thing now versus this fixed thing. It makes
Yeah,
for
but look,
better
fixed
experience.
cameras are such a pain in the butt these days.
Yeah.
Every game has it.
It's a wa-
Tragic, one might even say.
You're just gonna headbutt him.
Yep.
right.
Shaggy, I don't know why he's standing there. That's a little interesting.
Maybe he needs a chilly break. Too
Maybe.
warm.
Maybe his
The
brain
summer's been
froze.
hot, you know.
Perhaps. Alright, so the reason that I'm backtracking now is so I can get the final monster token of the game,
Right?
which is the spooky space kook.
Those laser shooting dudes?
Yep.
That's what his name is?
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be a space ghost. That's what they originally called him.
Okay.
So it's an alien that died, I guess.
He's the one from Roswell.
Perhaps. Or Hopkinsville or whatever that was.
Right?
Oh, you mean the one in the forest?
Yeah, where they were breathing
Where
in
some
like...
some kids saw something?
The one that Majora's Mask is based off of.
Yeah, that's the one where a kid saw something in the forest and some people went to go check it out and they were like, oh my god.
I thought it was the owl one.
Owl one?
Yeah, people have tried debunking it, saying it was like owl.
I mean, that's possible. Maybe they saw like a unnaturally big owl.
True, like with a birth defect.
Buried treasure.
Yeah. Some animals do get mutations where they can be bigger than normal, just like how people can be.
Rudy.
Alright. Like, whoops. Anyways.
Rudy.
Damn.
Well, just a prank. Alright, so now it is time to look at all the monsters that I've collected over the past year.
Mystery 5 or Who's Scared? That was the other names.
Indeed. See, Cody and
Wait,
I-
so the first episode didn't have the theme?
on the DVD ones it did, but so originally there was two theme songs. There's the Scooby Dooby Doo, Where Are You one, and then there was another one where there was no singing, like at all. It was just like Scooby Doo music.
I'm guessing that was the original.
Yeah, and then the one with the singing was added on to like the VHS versions and the DVD versions.
So
Perhaps-
Velma's the youngest human, but in general, I'm pretty sure Scooby's the youngest because dogs are generally younger.
Yeah, that would make sense. Some of these ghosts are very terrifying. Like,
Those little dive suits are like so weird.
indeed. But isn't that how they used to be back in the day?
Yeah, they were so weird. They're also like very clunky.
That's true.
But I'm pretty sure they helped with walking, but you couldn't really swim with them.
Was it to help for like deep sea exploration or something?
Maybe not deep sea, because I'm pretty sure those things weren't rated for like high pressures.
Right.
Maybe like 100 feet. I don't know. I didn't research into those. All I know is nowadays they use like proper dive suits.
Well, they probably didn't have the technology or creations back then.
Yeah, that's basically the predecessor,
Indeed.
They got rid of the heavy boots though and switched for flippers.
Well, flippers add for better maneuverability.
Which you need if you need to, speed around in the water.
Indeed.
Pretty sure we have like little torpedoes now too. Oh, well, not torpedoes, but those little underwater crafts where you can hang on to it and just burst around.
Oh, like they use in a Thunderball, the 007 one?
Yeah, or Modern Warfare 3 if you ever played that.
Perhaps.
It's like a little mini submarine thing with a big fan at the propeller in the back. You just hang on to it.
Those would be cool to have. That would be like underwater fun.
I'm pretty sure they exist though already.
Perhaps.
You know what I want to try? I want to try. You ever see those water jetpacks?
Oh, yeah.
So where you hook it up to like a hose or whatever, and you just go flying around.
I'll give you $1 if you try it.
I would do it for free. That seems fun.
Oh.
The other jetpack would be cool too. Well, it's not really a jetpack, but it's like it makes you fly. It's also cool, but it looks dangerous. Did you see that one?
Uh-uh.
So they have like a backpack, right? But it's connected to like 2 engines.
Mm-hmm.
And you hold the engines on your arms.
That doesn't seem very
You fly
safe.
around. I'll show you a video after.
Alright.
Because I'm pretty sure some places in Europe are going to be using them for rescues.
Maybe.
In hard to reach places.
So, Cody, is your final guess that the one
Butterscotch.
behind this? Do you think it is the professor?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's obvious.
Perhaps. Or is that what somebody wants us to think? For all we know, it could be the IRS trying to throw false accusations. Maybe they're behind this.
True. That is also a possibility.
Indeed. I think we're nearing the end of this video. So your final
That was
guess?
a long one, dude.
Listen, they will enjoy this. It is the professor's weird lab.
With all these wacky characters.
Indeed. Where the professor just randomly keeps all of his monsters.
Alright.
Well, thank you guys all for
And
watching.
that's where it ends. It's over already, dude.
Not mine, dude. This is what I was saying. Cody's is behind. I'm still at 16 seconds left.
What do you mean we started at the same time?
Anyways, goodbye.